Okay. Oh, the sand cannon. Okay. Doop 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 doop. Uses sand, pearl sand, or ebon sand as its ammunition. Is affected by gravity. When sand projectile hits any object, it will turn into a clump of sand blocks that will gather on the ground. I didn't know. Oh, the projectile, I think. Ebon sand and pearl sand fired through it will spread corruption and hallows, respectively. These sands also pierce multiple enemies, unlike ordinary sand. It's possible to play firing the sand gun to hit themselves and cause damage. I guess if you fire it into the air. So, illegal gun parts, antlion, mandible, and topaz. You would have thought that simple trips through the desert would have been enough. Ten? Ooh, I think I'm jacked on that. Son of a bitch, can't think of anywhere else where odd crap wound up. Well, there's no point in you tagging along. I'm sure everybody's killed an antlion. I just evidently did not kill enough. It's lollipop and bullshit land. I don't know, you get to love the Hallow less as time progresses. Come on, little pixie. I have Excalibur. That's a nasty sound for a unicorn to make. Which end do I have the pleasure of addressing? Lollipop trees. Should have brought my acorns. I like lollipop trees. Have you got acorns in you? What? No acorns?
Stupid trees. What'd I get? One acorn? A hell of a lot of day blue growing out here. Now it'd be easier to just fly. I hate black wall when it's there after everything else is done. So do antlions still spawn or not? I'm seeing Terraria 1. Oh no, I'm green. That counts to be good. Probably should have gone to the other desert. Shoot, I can't even count how many antlions I've passed up. Where are my meteor heads? 80 miles of corruption coming up. Yeah, it's eating the jungle. I never thought about the background showing what the land had turned into. I'll be back, family's here.
Well, I've been trying to make a place to get antlion mandibles. And I have made a large world, connected two pieces of desert, and it says desert needs 2 layers of sand, and extended those 2 pieces of desert on each side, and I have yet to see a single antlion. I took off the rocket boots in case I was going too fast.
And I made the world's biggest buzzard farm. in a word. And the word is buzzards. Now it says to level this all off, but that was kind of seemed like a large task when I started out, less of a large task now. Kind of bothers me wasting all the wood. Like I said, I had the world's biggest buzzard farm, with ne'er any outlions in sight. I have yet to see one. I checked out both of the worlds I fooled around in that were default, whatever that is, when I was trying to learn the controls. No antlions in them. And none in the small world. And none in my world, which is World 3. That was about... I just had no imagination with that. An antlion, be still my heart. Oops. So 1. Now, did that actually get us anything? No. No weird-looking banana for you. Well, I think we could probably switch back to the boots. At least it would make it feel like I'm moving somewhere. Go back to the old... Ah, there's another one. Maybe this will be successful. Now, there's the mandible, but we didn't get it. So... I thought about putting wood on this and putting... I don't know why these damn gobos are here. Putting more sand extending this. But it seemed like goldfish might spawn here, and I did see one. That's all I've seen, so... So I wouldn't mind... I've never seen any goldfish. Not... When I say never seen any, I mean, you know, like the occasional one. So... But I picked up a bunch of clumps of mushrooms from New Worlds, where you remember when the New World, when you get like 5 or 6 of them together, and it's totally cool instead of the singles you pick out later. So, like I said, the world's biggest buzzard farm. And it says to level it off, 2 layers of sand deep, and run back and forth. By collecting buzzard body parts, I'd be in dynamite shape here. I'll bet the lady in the lake never realized that Excalibur would be put to such mundane use. Here, Arthur, go forth into the world and slay buzzards. Oh, speaking of which, now I live in Missouri, and I live next to Kansas City. Kansas City's, I don't know, I think it's only listed at like 500,000 people, but if you figure North Kansas City, South Kansas City, Raytown, and you know how any kind of city is, you got like 50. I remember Phoenix had what, Tempe and Scottsdale, but it works out to about 1.5 million. And there's things I've seen foxes in the area. There's a state park just about 4 blocks down the street, which isn't as simple as it sounds, but on foot it is. But it was really a state park when I grew up, and since then they've turned it into like infinite softball diamonds, which really, and locked gates. It's a state park with locked gates. It's like, what? So anyway, and the creek down the street when we first moved here, my dad designed this house. The creek down the street had crawdads in it. There's where I drive up to Price Chopper, when I turn the corner up there, there's a field that used to be very extensive, and there's still badgers in it. And when my wife and I lived north of the river, we had a bobcat. We didn't have it, but we knew we had it. We heard him. There's nothing like a bobcat scream. But anyway, in all that time, and there's hawks out the kazoo. Any place with decent trees has hawks. But in all that time, I've never seen a buzzard. And I came home yesterday. Maybe it was a sign. I am 60 years old. But out in the middle of the street is this nasty-ass looking bird eating roadkill. You know, not like road... Oh, and there's a... Let's see. On the other side of the street, about 5 houses down, there's a herd of about 5 deer that come out and graze in the person's yard. Now, this is all very, you know, moderate... Not very expensive, but kind of moderately expensive suburban houses. So we got badgers, foxes, deer grazing. The raccoons I've told you about. And naturally nasty old possums. But I have never seen a buzzard, and that thing was a... Because it was like, what on earth? At first I thought it was a guinea fowl, because guinea fowl are pretty foul looking. But it was a buzzard eating... It wasn't a great big-ass buzzard like these things, but... My understanding is that a lot of cities in England still get foxes. And residents feed them. I saw something about Florida, and I was thinking it would be kind of neat to live there, and then I was thinking about mosquitoes and alligators. I think by and large, cats are smart enough to avoid them. I don't know. I understand they're hell on the dog population now. Come on, Farty Bob, find me. Well, at least I'm finding them, but there was no drop, right? Yeah. Oh, 1. We have moved up to 1, and what? There's an old joke about the buzzards. what was it? A rabbit, a buzzard, and a turtle came into some money. Now this is remember, this is a joke. We're dealing with fantasy here. But a rabbit, a turtle, and a buzzard came into some money, so they decided to build a farm, get together and build a farm. And they decided early on that the farm needed fertilizer. That was one of the first priorities. Wet my whistle here. If there's a God, there's a partial Mountain Dew down here, and yes, there is a God. If you ever doubt it, just blaspheme him and see what happens when you die. But anyway, buzzard, rabbit, turtle. So they went to start a farm, and they needed fertilizer, so they sent the rabbit to gather fertilizer. Now, the rabbit got the wheelbarrow and went to gather fertilizer, but rabbits have like little bitty paws. And so he was gone a long, long time. And he came back, evidently years later, with his wheelbarrow full of poo. And there's this huge mansion there. It's a big plantation, not the farm they started out with. And he knocks on the door. And a butler comes to the door. And he says, well, I'm the rabbit. I want to see the buzzard and the turtle. And the butler said, there is no buzzard and turtle here. The rabbit says, yeah, no, my friends, we're going to set up this farm here together. And so finally, the butler said, well, Mr. Buzzard is out in the yard, and Mr. Turtle is down by the well. And the rabbit told him, well, you tell Mr. Buzzard and Mr. Turtle that Mr. Rabbit is back with the shit. So, I'm going to dig sand, and I'll probably delete almost everything I've said or done. Because this is boring as hell. Except for the ow, 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 ow thing, and I really enjoy that. I need a hobby to do this. This is that grindy shit I used to do. Oh, I must be standing inside the sand. I'm still not used to that. Minecraft is pretty simple. If sand fell on you, you died.
Whoops, what happened here? I got the sound off. Yep. Well, it's about the third day of trying to harvest, and I'm still on 5 of my little bananas. Or antlion mandibles, as the case may be. Well, with an hour and a half to go, we are up to 6 ugly bananas. So I guess that is 1 a day. Well, 2 every 3 days. Howdy, hi. This is Bob. Obviously, this is Bob. 24K Gold Ring sent me a trailer, I guess, for the 1.2 update. So I'll probably link that. I don't know if it was the official one or not. It looks like, I don't know. All I have to say is I'm glad I started playing the game when I could still play. Now this is the dreaded Antlion world. Ooh, 7. And we did 1 yesterday. If you've been following, I get maybe 1 a day on the antlion mandibles. So now I shouldn't have bailed in the daytime, but I wanted you to see what derpiness I had moved away from. It occurred to me that I needed a battle potion and a water candle in my hand, and I don't know if those stack. If you're going to do that, I would recommend that you look it up. I just woke up a little while ago, and I'm waiting for stuff to kick in. I've got just a crushing headache, but, that's life. It'll go away. So anyway, it's been moving along a lot better with and like I said, I don't know which one to attribute it to, but now this is not the desert I made, and I suspect the desert part that I made out over the water is probably wasted. Oh, that's probably that battle potion. I was going to say, I've been going all day long with hardly even seeing 1 antlion. I thought the potion would go away when I left the game and came back. In my experience in a game, that's unusual for a game to to hang on to your potion while you, because I exited all the way out of the game because I had to switch over to microphone and turn fraps on. Now this has got just a killer jungle in it.
This is a large world. I love this world. Except that after a while, big is. I would think big would get really tedious because it's one long arced way. I didn't even think about how far away it was. Well, and I could make a. I keep forgetting. Well, I keep thinking I'll be done and then I won't be doing this. But the logical thing is to make the room, the bed, the yada yada yada. But I don't have a bed with me or anything, so. But I figured as long as I was waiting for meds, etc., to kick in, I might as well grind the antlions. Okay, this is. I decided to cover over the. I never did get any goldfish. I got a few goldfish in there, none to brag about. So we're up to 7. So we've been getting 1 or a little bit less a day, and I got to have 2 date in about a third of the day. I've gotten 1, so that's increased by a factor of 3. However, one example doesn't mean squat, but I am hitting a lot more of everything, including antlions. So. Especially more antlions, because I've mentioned that I have created the world's biggest buzzard farm. And I'm sure it's not the biggest. I'm sure somebody out there... Oops, wrong one. I wanted to go to Excalibur! I'm sure someone out there has turned their entire flipping world into Dune. I don't know, you may get sad. There are some neat monsters in the new one. That's why I said I... Probably just as well I started when I did, while I could still be able to play. Yeah, see, this is kind of marginal over here. I haven't had any cactus or... I haven't smashed cactus, so I think this is... Oh, and our battle potion ran out. Drink! And summon your enemies. He's wearing the miner's hat because I was futzing around at night. It was just, instead of using up all his shine potions, what the hell. Die, Mr. Buzzard. Where's your candle? You must light a candle against the darkness, Bob.
Guess what? King Slime. Wow, how cool. Shit, I don't have a single cool weapon on me. You son of a bitch. Well, this is... I didn't do a summoning or anything. He's just here. Should probably put on real armor here. Well, you big puddle of goo. Coming down to join you, buddy. Come on, puddle of goo. We'll dance. The dance of the slimes. Gracious, there's a lot. Oh, you're all dead. Why didn't you say you were dead? Here I am firing my ammo, not hitting anything. Well, that was kind of cool. It is my intention to kill him with some of the weapons, the new cool weapons, but King Slime. So, yep, ran out the battle potion. Where's the battle potion? Slurp down your ickiness. And we're still at 8, so we haven't done a damn thing all day. Water candle is an item that can be used to attract enemies when held. It says attract, so can be placed to provide light only. So when I placed them for aggravating the twin, whatever the hell. Oh, I was trying to get lenses. Is why those water candles were up there, and they don't work that way. They just give you light. You have to hold it. Cannot be crafted. Can only be found in the dungeons. Holding a water candle in the player's hand will increase all enemy spawn rates by 33% and increase the maximum number of simultaneous on-screen enemies by 50%. Water candles' effects stack with those of Battle Potion and the Blood Moon, so it does stack. So there you go. So that's me for, and of course everything's changing again. I don't know if they're changing basic stuff or not. Like I said, there's people who've been playing the game since certain divine beings were in short pants. So I would feel very comfortable with people looking to them for the information.